Okay, so also on the whole thing about him talking about porn addiction and all of that, they say there's evidence to disprove this, that he was talking about that with everyone. And without even them bringing evidence, I mean, Justin had a podcast where he was always speaking about, his battle with porn addiction as a young man. And he had both men and women on that podcast. One of those women, by the way, who's betrayed him and is pro Blake and Brian right now, in my opinion. And then you also have when he's been on TED Talks and he'd spoken about, porn addiction and what that does to men, what that did to him. And apparently on set, he did that same thing with everybody. So it wasn't a whole, I want to talk about porn with Blake. Yes, Blake, come, let me talk to you about my, porn addiction that I had and affected me. Oh, yeah, Blake, I'm talking about my porn addiction. No, it was based on I want to educate people. How he did in his podcast and TED Talk. So he was free talking about that with men and women, both genders, about that. So it wasn't a Blake centered thing to try and make her feel whatever she said she was feeling. And then also the hugging video, we see where the guy who played Young Atlas comes up to Justin, hugs him. You see why he hugs crew members. And you also see where when they did the whole raffle draw thingy and they were celebrating, he high fived Isabella Ferreira, the one who plays young Lily, Blake's character. And then she tries to go in for a hug, but he doesn't. He keeps holding the hand up in the air. He doesn't hug her. Now, I don't know the timeline of events. I believe that maybe this was after he started seeing her getting close to Blake or it hurt things. I don't know. Whether it was before that or after that, either way, it speaks volumes that he didn't go in to hug her. And I think she was still uncertain because this is probably before she sent him the text because it was after she was done filming, she sent him the text thanking him about how great it was to work with him and everything. So if this was when he was still in good terms with her and he didn't even hug her, and if this was even when he was, well, maybe not in bad terms, but wasn't trusting of her because of Blake, that still speaks volumes. I want to see if Blake responds to this with videos of him hugging her, and I want to see how she reacted. If she made faces, or if her body language was kind of stiffy and iffy and trying to make him know without saying that, hey, nigga, don't hug me. Sorry, I used the N word. But I want to see that. So, anyways, they are disproving that in the summary judgment. And I just like how Alex Shapiro really files this because asked to lawyers like to always praise. In those days when they were talking about the case, I hope they never do. We don't want them here. One day to talk about Ezra and oh how Blake's lawyer Ezra. I just like how she writes. She's a great writer. I love how Alex writes. Leagues bounds ahead of Ezra. So that's another point, something that stood out to me, the whole how he interacted based on her. And this is just factual, like is this going to stand based on the law? This is what they're presenting. Now, not just about the evidence, but based on the law and based they cite case laws too about this. I'm not gonna talk about those. But they cite a lot of case laws showing that despite how those cases, by the way, in my opinion, were heinous, the case law decided all those people did was really ugly and horrible. It wasn't still like ruled in their favor that they were sexually harassed in comparison to this, where is that you're saying he did this to you, but it wasn't just to you, he was just talking to people. It wasn't that he targeted you and wanted to make everything sexual. He was talking based on things he's been talking about before, his porn addiction. He was doing things based on his faith to try to open when they hug people. And it wasn't just centered on just hugging only women or only the A-listers, he was hugging everyone. Anyways, my point, they talk about how, despite her incessant pounding for sanctions and her constant talking about with her bullying subpoenas in my opinion with the content creators over what almost 200 of them, 98% of them being women, by the way. After all of that, we were not able to find so far, based on what they're telling us now and based on what we see, quite frankly, from Blake's filings and anger and everything she's done on the docket, we've not seen any substantial evidence to show that there was a calculated, according to her, in her own wording, smear campaign against her. And yes, Jed Wallace was dismissed in Texas. That was based on jurisdiction that he didn't have a there was no jurisdiction for Blake. But Blake was dismissed in New York. There was no jurisdiction over Jed Wallace. So his the dismissals on both ends haven't been on fact. It's just on jurisdiction. Either way, Blake has not been able to provide in a year any substantial evidence that hey, these people were conniving. Every text message that she has leave open in her side that she thinks helps her. It doesn't. We've seen Justin talking about, in the text messages, private text messages to his PR people. Oh, I'm seeing people defending me on TikTok. Hope this isn't bot. Oh, I'm seeing people defending me on Instagram. Hope this isn't bot. Always, always asking that question. And these people replying, no, these are not bots. And these are private texts before they even knew a lawsuit was coming out or anything like that. It's just they talking freely behind closed doors. But on Blake's end, we've seen her manipulate things, like with the whole New York Times article, edited text that came out showing that these people were not meaning what she was trying to edit the text to be like. Or in her claims about, you smell good situation. A video that not actually golden when she was talking about the whole hugging video that just came out. She referenced that she's happy they didn't put that because of that might not be able to factually prove it. I disagree because that is actually going to be argued by Wayfarer, and I don't know why not actually go and said that because Justin in one of the texts was literally talking about how Blake didn't read the book. I haven't read the book, and I'm so glad. I never liked Colin Hoover. This is coming from somebody like me who, anyone who's ever met me, who knows me, you don't even like, my friend or anything, because you've been a day, you spent a day with me, or even an hour somewhere. You, you cannot hide the fact that I love reading and I love movies. Art is my life. All my life. Even when everyone was going to social media and everything, books were always my jam. But I could never get into Colin Hoover. And she's a romance author and whatever. And it's not because of what people say about, her being the way she writes abuse and how it's problematic. I didn't even know that. I couldn't get into her. And that's one thing about my instinct. If it doesn't like someone, it doesn't like that person. It takes a while for me to realize it, but I'm always vindicated. I couldn't get into Colin Hoover. I don't know why then, but now I do. So, if she read the book, Blake, because Justin pointed out she was trying to do something with the tattoo, they had to pay $100,000 because Blake was not getting it, and he said if she'd known the book, she would know this. So, for you not actually going, that is not going to be a problem for them because in the book, Justin's character is obsessed with Lily's neck, and that's because of I think it was a tattoo or something. There's something on her neck that he's very obsessed with. Yeah, a tattoo she had with her ex-boyfriend, the boyfriend who Brendan's Glenna, whatever he calls himself, the other character plays. So they got a tattoo young, and because of Justin's character in the movie, in the books, how obsessed and possessive and psychotic he is. He was always obsessed with that tattoo. I think there's a part in the book where when they're being intimate somehow and he bites it with his teeth, almost like he wants to like rip it off her neck and it bruises her. So that's why he's always focusing on her neck. And in the book, that was what he was always doing. When they're dancing, they're doing anything, he's just really obsessed with her neck because of their tats. And so Justin, in that scene, that density, is trying to portray that by caressing her neck and always bringing his face there. Now, if Blake had read the books, she would know why he was doing that, and not because he's obsessed with you as a person, Blake. But he's trying to portray what the character in the book would do. And we've seen from all the clips when they just started the groundworks for this film that Justin was very particular about the fans of the book and how they feel, which is good. As a fan of books that they've made into movies, I wish more authors would do that because most of the time they just kind of watcherize it like Bridgerton. Most people don't know the books is leagues ahead. And I don't know every book reader says that, but the books are leagues ahead. But anyway, guys, by the way, not actually going referencing that. It's just kind of odd to me because if you know that, you know that was speaking. And even by the way of that whole neck situation, the way she said it factually is disproven by the video. She said he just went in, smelled her neck, and said, "You smell good." No, he didn't just go in and smell your neck. He was acting. And then you said, "Oh, her whole this spray tan or whatever, Pop is not offended by it." And he trying to make her feel good, which I hate that. He hate that anyways, because she doesn't deserve to feel good, in my opinion. He said, "Oh no, it smells good." It wasn't a pervy, "Yeah, you smell good." No, it was a overacting. My spray tan. Oh, got that on your face. Oh, I'm sorry. I hope it smells offending you. Oh no, you smell good. What anybody who has cutsy would say. Anyways, on to the next video.